Previously on LeFilmNation. So on today's hot news, we're going to be talking about a hot new topic, and it's called Unreal Engine 5. And it's well, I don't really know a lot about it, and the two guys next to me here, they know a ton about it, and they're super excited. I saw the trailer on YouTube. It's freaking unbelievable. I'm an Xbox guy myself, so I think the torch is going to be handed over to the guys over here. So yeah, who's going to be taking it, guys?
Well, I mean, I guess I'll take the lead a little bit here first with the non-technical stuff. Why are we even talking about it? Well, because the way it can be implemented into filmmaking in the future, once you let your imagination run, it's completely bonkers. Because we're getting to a level of realism where basically you can imagine a world of having virtual sets, almost virtual actors, and all the production can happen in reverse.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yep. So that's one thing that they did already with Unreal Engine 4, actually, on The Mandalorian, the new show on Disney Plus. So what they did is they basically have a huge set made of basically big LCD screens, and they display the whole environment on that. So that you can be transported on a new planet entirely, or into another room, or whatever environment you want, and the actors can just play in that scene, and you shoot that, and you already have the lighting that's correct on the actor, and the bokeh, everything is as is, and you almost have no post-production to do afterwards. So it's kind of backwards, because you have to make all the 3D environment first before even shooting. That's kind of very interesting.
And the cool thing that I see about that is that actors, they feel that they're actually in that location. Because I remember a very common complaint about all of the actors playing in the prequel Star Wars trilogy, coming back to Star Wars, which is pretty fitting, is that they don't really feel that they're actually there. And you can see certain scenes, for example, in episode 3, where Obi-Wan is confronting, this General Grievous guy, the big robot guy. And he doesn't even flinch when he's swinging the swords and whatever, because you can tell the actor is not even looking at a robot. He's just looking into
an actor
space.
who knows how to act in front of a green screen is what you have to be.
It's very difficult.
So that skill set of acting in front of a green screen is becoming more irrelevant, I think. And that's good for everyone.
Myself, I actually did some research on this, and you're talking about projection in front of, and projection TV or projection behind an actor. And it's been around since I think around the 40s or so, with like a King Kong type movie, where the actress was actually on a tree, and then they put the projection of King Kong behind her, or whatever, the big monkey or whatever, gorilla, and then they sort of superimpose the two images together. So this actually dates back to, I don't know, whatever it is, 80 years ago or 70 years ago.
Or even simpler, even simpler, like in the old movies, old car scenes. The car scenes, you would have a screen behind that was projected on. You'd have all the trees going by, flying by the windows.
Didn't Kill Bill do that also? Didn't Kill Bill, or not Kill Bill, but Pulp Fiction and stuff like that, when they were driving scenes, kind of like the fun scenes.
Any old movie, because back then you didn't have, you did have in some cases blue screen and green screen, but it was much simpler at the time, when there was no computers, to do simply a projection in the background.
I can also imagine it's just cheaper to film it in studio than having to drive down an actual road, having to lock it off and hire extras and pedestrians and stuff.
It's faster, it's safer, and cheaper. So,
Also, lighting. I heard the light can bounce off to the actor, so it looks more natural. I don't know if that's true.
That's some. I think for me, I'm a nerd on lighting and colors and everything, and for me that's the most important. Like when I watched The Mandalorian, I was blown away by the quality of the reflection on his helmet and stuff. It's just so good. It's gorgeous. It feels analog. It feels real. It feels like with actual real. And that's because all the light is bouncing around in a real manner.
I would like to say one reason why I wanted to talk about this on this podcast was because when watching this, they talked about how they can use actual assets from movies in video games, because the engine will be so powerful by now that they can render these high polygon counts in a real-time rendered video game. So I'm just imagining now, as an indie developer right now, you can buy a bunch of assets for your video games, but they tend to be low poly counts so that they can easily import them into your project. But now we might be entering into a world where, for example, you could use the same assets that Marvel Studios uses to build their fake worlds in your own video game or your own movie production, for that matter. Like everything's just becoming more accessible to everyone. Yeah. So I can imagine indie filmmakers going hardcore into like VFX in just a couple of years.
That's awesome.